Welcome, welcome. If you're just joining, I'm logging into TikTok right now. We are doing our Hillmantok University live discussion. As you're coming in, let me know who you are, what you do. And today we are going to talk about target audience. Who are your dream clients? Who are those people that you call your people, your community, your tribe? So let me get logged into TikTok. I'm trying Streamlabs. I've never done this before, but I'm tired of my TikTok lives looking basic. So I'm trying out something new. Let's see if it's working. Welcome, welcome. I'm about to check and see if I'm live. If you're watching this and you're just coming in, I'm getting everything set up. But this week we are talking about um, your dream client, your target audience, who your people are, and how you can find them. But first, I am double checking to make sure that I'm live. It looks like I am on YouTube and TikTok. Oh, yay, it's there. It look a little weird, but I'm in here nonetheless. I think it might be lagging actually. Welcome, welcome. It's a new day. It's Tuesday. We're in the energy of Mars. Mars is a day of action. This is why I held the office hours on this day for Branding 201 because I want us to start taking action. I don't know about y'all, but I can get stuck in the analysis paralysis phase where I just plan it out so much that I actually end up doing nothing. So if you can relate to that, then you are in the energy of Mars today, Tuesday, for office hours. And we're going to continue with Hillmantok University's Branding 201. And Branding 201 is for creators and solopreneurs and getting us in the energy of putting ourselves out there in more than one way, not limiting yourself and putting yourself in the box, putting all those gifts, all those things you like to do out there. And this week, we're going to talk about branding when it comes to your target audience and finding out who your people are. So as you come in, let me know who you are, what you do. I'm trying something new with this setup. So I'm trying to go back and look at my comments. I got to go into my other account in order to look at my comments. Because I can't really see what's going on. I guess I'll put it up here. I wonder, can we play music? I want to play music, but I don't want to violate any terms or anything. Okay, so we'll get into this. I'm going to get straight into it. Branding 201. Actually, let me make sure I don't neglect my YouTube. How do I? Okay. I think we're in. Okay. So branding 201. Again, this week we're talking about finding your tribe and who your dream clients are. This is really important because when you're out there, I I have a post that I'm getting ready to put on TikTok where it's talking about, nuance is like this word that I'm like, what is this word? Everybody is using this word. So I looked it up in the dictionary and it really didn't give much context as to what this word means. And actually, I just feel like nuance is context. So you don't have to give nuance to everything when you're out there, when you're putting yourself out there. Context is very, very important. But you don't have to explain everything in detail when you put yourself out there because you're only talking to a select group of people. When you put whatever you have to say out there, just envision that you're talking to those people and everybody else is just going to scroll on by. If they do have something to say in the comments, negative or whatever, that's not your business. You just let them talk it out in the comments, and that's going to raise your engagement anyway. But the first thing that I want to talk about is meeting people where they are. So, when it comes to finding your dream clients, you want to meet people where they are. So, for instance, something like uh, trending topics or something. Some of us might say, "Oh, I don't want to talk about trending topics. Like that don't feel authentic to me." But we're sitting here every day watching this stuff go on. You don't have to be an expert on a topic or you don't have to be a super big fan of a topic for you to talk about certain things. Like this is why trends are relevant. And I'll talk about that a little bit later, how it's a tool and you have to use that tool. But another way that you can meet people where they are is comparing your story to their story. What is it that they have going on in their lives that you have on in your life that you can talk about? And when you talk about these things, that's how you bring people into your world. Get whatever your goal is, get more followers, get more subscribers, get people going into your offers. You got to meet them where they are first. Um, so if you come in, let me know who you are, what you do, and if you have any questions on finding your dream audience or who your community might be, let me know down in the comments. One of my favorite things that I like to do is put together a profile for who I envision my dream client is. Like when I create my strategies and everything, I will create like put a name to a face and everything when it comes to the dream client, who I think my dream client is. So here's an exercise for you if you are wondering, okay, who are these people? First of all, you got to put yourself in a position of being a creator now. You are a consumer, but you want to kind of switch bases a little bit and say, okay, I am a creator. And as a creator, you want to start looking at just normal things that you do on a regular basis, like scrolling on social media. When you go in the comments, like most of us go in the comments to get more context and see what people have to say. But when you go in the comments now, look in the comments like a creator and say, okay, this is something that relates to who I do. I can relate to these experiences. Maybe these are something that I need to talk about. That's another way of meeting people where they are. Um, so going back to creating like this dream client profile of who you think your audience is, who you think your community is, or that dream client, create a profile for them. This profile can include, of course, putting a name and the face to it. I feel like a lot of people get stuck in demographics, like the age, where they live and things like that. But that it's way more to your dream client than their age and where they live. That stuff really in business, and I like to bring it on back to real life. In business, you're really only going to use that when you're creating ads. So say you want to make a Facebook ad, a Facebook video, put it, have that video circling on ads, you're going to need that demographic information for that. But when you create your dream profile, you go a little deeper by getting into those psychographics, which is what are some of the things that they are struggling with. And I talk about this a lot. I honestly feel like a broken record, but it's so important. And it makes creating content, putting yourself out there much easier when you say, okay, the person that I feel will work with me, or the person that I feel is going to follow me, whatever your goal is, they are going through this right now. And then you relate it back to your experience to say, you know what, I went through that too. And this is how I got through that. So that's what you're going to talk about. What are some of those struggles? What are some of the things that they desire? Where do they want to be? Where do you want to be? Let's say, I'll use myself for an example. I know that as a multi-passionate creator, I desire to get out of this starving artist narrative, because you get frowns with people you know and just society as in general about being this starving artist and how you can't survive off of your art, off of your creativity, your gifts. And in 2025, that's furthest from the truth. So I'm moving away from that. And that's my own personal story. But these are things that I talk about, what I created my whole YouTube page about, and pretty much anything that's associated with Keisha Creates is building wealth with your own gifts. Anybody can relate to that. Well, not anybody, but my people can relate to that. So, and I pull from my story to say, okay, this is what my people are going through. They can all relate to this. So when you're creating your dream client profile, what the psychographics are going to be very important, which is their struggles, their desires. What are some blockages that they have? What are some things that they're feeling? These are all the things you want to think about when it comes to your target audience. And if you're coming in, let me know who you are, what you do, and if you have any questions specifically about branding. But this is what I do when I'm creating my target audience profile for myself and people that I work with. You think about some of those things that they struggle with, some of the things they desire. What are they feeling? What are some things that they go through on an everyday basis? Because this is going to help you to create content, create talking points. Content is just you talking points. Create talking points for you to put yourself out there and start talking about all of these things. Let me do a quick double check to make sure I'm still good on both platforms. I'm trying this new Streamlabs. Let's see. Okay. I think we're good. So after you meet people meet people where they are, the next point that I want to go over is you being an energetic match to what you want. And this also goes back what you want or who you want in your community. This also goes back to telling your story, your experiences. What experiences are they going through? Because a lot of the times we put ourselves out there and we say, oh no, that's not professional. I'm not going to talk about that because whatever fears or doubts that you have. I'm not going to talk about that for whatever reason. But energetically, you're not being authentic. And that's not going to attract your people. And if you do attract people, let's say you have a business and you're creating content, if you do attract people in that way, I promise you, it is not going to be the type of clients that you want. They are going to give you a headache. They are going to give you a run for your money because energetically, they are not a match. So when you're thinking about putting yourself out there, are you an energetic match to the people that you want in your environment, in your community, following you, subscribe to you? How are you authentically telling your story? It takes a while for you to be truly what is the word? Unapologetic, for lack of better words, about that, to say, you know what, this is what I went through. This is my story. And whoever relate to that, they'll eventually find me. And that's really branding for that really sums up branding for creators and solopreneurs, because we are pretty unconventional. Like I said, most people think that you can't make a living off of that. You can't do that. But we see that it's possible, and we have to keep getting out here and telling our stories and trusting that it will land us in front of our people. So making sure that you're being an energetic match to those people. Now, another thing that I want to talk about, and let me see if I can pull up vidIQ, because when you're finding your people, you also want to. So what I talked about already, that was like the intuitive side of everything, but you have to have a balance with the masculine, the feminine, yin yang. You have to have a balance to everything. So that's the intuitive side, to say, you know what, am I an energetic match to the life that I really desire, the people that I really want to be in community with? But we got to bring it on back, because we are living, we are scrolling through these platforms that do have algorithms in them. We are navigating capitalism. So you got to say, okay, let me be a little bit logical about this. How do I really get in front of those people? So in that way, you say, okay, there's tools out there that I can use. I talked about trending topics. That's a tool. And I'll talk more about that, but I want to talk about SEO first, because I love SEO. And this is what I'm always doing when I'm creating my content, is creating content that is SEO friendly. And some of my favorite SEO tools are vidIQ. vidIQ, I love, 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 because any topic that you type into vidIQ, they're going to let you know who's searching this, how many people are searching this. And this will give you an idea if these are trending topics that you need to use for SEO. And SEO, let's take TikTok for example. TikTok, and as far as I know, they're the only platform that allows you to do this. But TikTok, you can type words on the screen. And what is it called? Is it called hidden? I don't know. TikTok, first of all, the title. If you take something that you searched on SEO and you saw that it was highly searched and you use that as a title for your video, that is going to get in front of your people that have already been searching that. Or sometimes what I even do is I'll type out a lot of these things and in my TikTok videos, and I'll move the words to the side so nobody can see it. And a lot of times that will end up being highly searched as well. So SEO tools, that's how you meet people where they are. If the algorithm isn't working in your favor, and virality is unpredictable. Nobody can guess virality. It will be a lot of coaches and a lot of people that can tell you that they can help you out with that. But honestly, there's so many factors that go into that. It is really a case-by-case situation, and everything does not apply to everybody. So you can talk about virality, but you can also come back and be a little logical to say, you know what? I know when I do these things like using SEO, that's going to get me in front of my people. So that's what I like to do when I'm creating content of any kind. This is how I meet people where they are from a logical sense. Okay. So I want you to start thinking about some of those things that are important to you, and putting yourself out there. That's going to be the challenge. And if you are interested in discussing this more, I created a support group for Branding 201. Right now we have about 40 people in there. I'm working on a challenge because I know people are like tiptoeing to engage. So that's a whole another element to creating a community if you're interested in creating one. And I'll talk about that at another time. But yeah, we have 40 people in there right now. Very exciting. I talked about this on my TikTok, how I created this community a while ago and nobody joined. So look how things are turning around. Never give up. Just another message. But I want to encourage you to put yourself out there. And if you're interested in going forward further and learning more about how you as a creator or a solopreneur or even a multi-passionate creator can put yourself out there in a way that attracts your people. We're going to talk about this more in the community. So all of that is pinned at the top of my profile on TikTok. And if you're on YouTube, it's down in the description. I also have a monthly content template that I put out every month. If you don't know what to create content about, lucky for you, I have virtual content days. These are going to be every 2 Thursdays out of the month. This membership is $26, by the way, and this is all to help you anything that has to do with content. On these virtual content days, we're going to edit the content together. We're going to film, if you need help filming with the content, researching the content, applying these monthly templates that I give you inside of the community to your own brand, helping you do that. And in this template every month, there's about 20 pieces of content that I put out there, long form and short form content. And I know everybody is hung up on that. And this is like the thing that I hear the most. Well, I don't know what to create content about. I don't know what to create content about. Number one, definitely know who you're talking to, who your audience is, and start speaking to them. Or just you are your audience. Start speaking to yourself and some of the struggles and desires that you want. But also, if you need a little help with that, that's what this content membership is going to help you with. The virtual content days and every single month done for you content templates. So I'm going to wrap things up and we'll continue things in the group. So if you have any additional questions, definitely make sure that you come into the community. That's always going to be pinned at the top of my profile. Again, this is for the Hillmantok University Branding 201. So that's at the top of my profile, and the virtual content days and the monthly templates for $26. You cannot beat that. That's going to be at the top of my profile as well. So I am going to wrap this thing on up. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And then we'll continue this in another group discussion. And for Hillmantok University, I saw Dr. Barlow state why she did this, and that was pretty eye-opening. Now, I do vouch for us. How do I say this? Putting some of what we do behind a paywall, because energetically, talking about being an energetic match, you can't just be out here doing everything for free. You are going to burn yourself out. Excuse me. You are going to burn yourself out. But I saw that Dr. Barlow talked about how it's nothing wrong with having community offers too. You just have to check your capacity in that. So I saw Dr. Barlow say that she put this out there because she actually has students that are in her class, and she put this on TikTok. This wasn't her first time putting this on TikTok. She put it on TikTok this time because she put it on TikTok in the first place because she wanted her discussions to be accessible to people in their everyday life. And I really, really like that. So I want to keep in that same spirit as well. I'm always down for putting free content out there. First of all, as a strategist, this is how your people find you. If you don't have a community, you cannot be complaining about putting free stuff out there. You can't be trying to put something behind a paywall and nobody knows who you are. You have to create that community first. You have to put yourself out there first. So I'm always down for having the community offers. So I'm going to continue to talk about this on TikTok. This course is 12 weeks. So over the next 12 weeks, we're going to tackle every single thing that has to do with branding, and specifically for creators and solopreneurs, creating a safe space for us. But I'll also be posting more on TikTok as well as other things. So make sure that you connect with me on TikTok, follow me on TikTok, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is typically around my experiences as a multi-passionate solopreneur, and getting us all in the space where we're putting ourselves out there more, and telling our stories and building wealth with all of those gifts that we have, and creating the content, putting our ways to put ourselves out there and relate it back to everyday life. I like to say that I'm a strategist, and I do think I am a holistic strategist. I like to do everything in a sustainable way, because I think most, and no, not knocking what anybody do, is just not my style, but most things are so wrapped up in just getting money, getting money, getting money, capitalism. You know how the white folks do stuff. And I don't really relate to that. I do believe that we need to be in community. And then all of those things will lead to you getting money. So I like to do things and you taking care of yourself first, and being mindful of your energy capacity. Because if you've created content, like really have been consistent, you know that this is a job. And if you're not well, you're not going to be able to create that content. You're going to consistently burn yourself out. So this is what I talk about on my YouTube channel, or anything related to Keisha Andrea Creates. So I'm going to wrap things up, and I trust that this message did resonate. If you are watching this live, send me a camera emoji in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, type in #replay in the comments, and I'll see y'all in the community. Happy creating. Peace. Once I figure out how to end the live.